So last night when I was setting up my stream for this morning and I'm reading articles and just checking out some things, a couple things popped up that I thought, sounded a little promising. And then all of a sudden I wake up this morning and they're all back to shit again. Anyway, I'll explain after the intro. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. All right, stop the damn music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. It's Hump Day, Wednesday, the 18th of November, 2020, and I'm annoyed. I am annoyed, but thanks to coffee in the good old Avengers mug today. I'm sure you like that. Anyway, everyone take a sip now because it's already a long morning. That is so good. Anyway, hi. What's happening, everybody? It's the Morning Night Live, and the title of the show today, Out of Balance, was regarding a certain county in Michigan that apparently 70% of the precincts, their vote counts did not match the number of ballots they had, and apparently that would normally, in any other normal time in the history of the United States of America, would be a problem. But apparently, it's no longer a problem. I will explain after say good morning to everybody. Hello. By the way, I made an executive decision on the show. I'm only going to do music on Mondays and Fridays. Some people like the music, some people don't. So I'm going to split the difference and do it on Mondays and Fridays. But I still have my other toys, and you'll get what I mean in a minute. But first in the chat today was Select a Boy, who was here first, and I appreciate you being here. And you get the bell. Also, good morning, Gunfot61, Maddie, and Ronan, who's in the background for sure. Also, Black Hebrew Israelite. Good morning. Also, Uncle Bobbity's in the house. Cindy Rochelle. What the hell is that? Is that really soft? Oh, that's why. Here, let me try that again. Yeah, boy. Now I can hear it. And also the bell for Select a Boy and good morning, and Black Hebrew Israelites.
That's right.
There we go. Now I feel better. Also, good morning, Uncle Bobbity, Cindy Rochelle, Aaron Meredith. The music strikes fear into the heart of AOC because she remembers her nightmare bartending, and now she's only what? Okay, it's inches away from returning to the tyranny of the apron. I don't know what that means. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Anyway, also good morning to Richard, my friend from down under. Cindy Rochelle, I think I already said good morning. If I didn't, I'm saying it again. Also good morning. AWOL, what's up? Renee Mayette, Advocatus Diaboli, the Devil's Advocate. CNN Sucks is back with the most redundant name on the internet. Let's see, Wikipedia snippet. How you doing? Good morning to, as I scroll, Katie did skates here. Good. Nice to see you. And that's the whole, wow, is that really the whole chat? We really only, we do have, we've got about 27 people. Hello, Gamer Valine, I see you there. Okay, y'all are rolling in. It just seems weird that, it was weird, because usually there's a lot more people in the chat when I got 30 people in the house, but that's okay. Hi, how's everyone doing today? I'm annoyed. Well, let me explain. I'll show you the article that I was looking at last night before I, set up the stream and before I went to beddy by, because I usually do it just before I go to bed to see what's happening at the end of the day. And, damn it. Hang on a second here. See, I forget that in these days I have to, let's see if this works. That didn't work. Let's try this then. We're going to go, is this it? There we go. All right. So this is the article I'm looking at prior to going Betty by. Wayne County canvasser certified. Oh no, they changed the article. You gotta be kidding me. They updated this article. This is not what this said last night. Well, let's just read this. This is out of the Detroit News. Wayne County canvassers certify election results after initial deadlock. That's wrong. They should just either update the story or put a new story in. Okay, here we go. So, and now the Detroit News is telling me to fuck off. Okay. Wayne County Board of Canvassers abruptly changed course Tuesday night. It must have been after I went to bed. And certified the results of the November 3rd election after initially deadlocking 2-2 along party lines, which could have delayed the state process for validating pivotal votes. The deadlock decision has been lauded by Republicans. Oh, see, now they just changed the first part of this. Because the deadlock decision had been lauded by Republicans but decried by Democrats. During a lengthy public comment session, the vote was described as a target attack on majority black Detroit, the largest city in the county and the state. Yes, counting votes is, say it with me, racist. I need a "that's racist." There's a couple new sound effects I'm going to be adding to this because I need that little kid yelling, "That's racist." I need that one, and I also need "You're a white male." You know, what's his name? Something Skrillex or, you know, that dude. After hours of angry responses from Wayne County residents, the change in course, they're afraid of a riot. That's what they were afraid of. They cucked to a riot, a potential riot. That's all it is. It is intimidation. After hours of angry responses from Wayne County residents, the change in course was approved by the 2 Republicans and 2 Democratic canvassers with the demand that the Secretary of State's office conduct a comprehensive audit of the precincts with unexplained out-of-balance tallies. The high-stakes vote with the eyes of the nation on Michigan's largest county apparently took place while the video stream for the virtual meeting wasn't working. How convenient! It's just comical. It is freaking comical. I'm just saying, holy shit. Holy shit. That passed unanimously, Republican member William Hartman said when the video began functioning again. We just voted on that. Moments later, he said, "We're going to adjourn," and the board ended its meeting at 9:08 p.m. No wonder, because that's hilarious, because I was reading this at about 7:45 last night, and it still said it the other way, that they weren't going to certify it. Good morning, MC. How you doing?
Stop. Hammer time.
Also, good morning, Check Your Logic, Jaeger Pony, Nathan Payton. Nice to see you all here. Welcome. Minutes after that, President Donald Trump tweeted, based on the past deadlocked vote, wow, Michigan just refused to certify the election results. Yeah, I'm revolted. That's what it's in my head. Results. Having courage is a beautiful thing. The USA stands proud. Now they're a bunch of weenie bastards. And look, here's the thing. Why not get it right? Okay? We're talking, what was it, 138 precincts that were out of balance, something like that. Why not get it right? What's wrong with that? Don't certify them unless they're right. How can you have that many precincts out of balance? Well, I suppose there's a few ways that could happen. Okay, so here we go. I've restored my faith in the fact that, yes, government does work, that, yes, the people can make a difference, said Kinlock, who vowed to ensure the audit took place. Yeah, you know who's going to do the audit, though? The Secretary of State of the state of Michigan is one of those people who got their money from a large amount of money to run for Secretary of State from, the guy that you're not allowed to really talk about without being, without being accused of a certain type of thing that you could get in trouble for if anyone really gave a shit. Anyway. Thank you, Gunfox61 for the number, for the first, hang on a second here, let me fix something. For the first donation of the day, greatly appreciated, sir. And in fact, I'm going to see if this works. I've never tried, when it happens, let me see if I'm going to play it again just to see if it gives me no, it does not. Well, anyway, Gunfox61.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the Day.
And also the top donation of the day, too. Thank you, Gunfox61, who says, remember when Barack Obama said, we need a civilian national security force because we cannot only rely on the military? Antifa and BLM just became it. Isn't that it? They were intimidated by one thing that I appreciate about the president, and I'm not a fan of the president's style, but guess what? The fact that he doesn't care what people call him that's a feature. That is a feature. He doesn't care how many times someone calls him racist or whatever, He knows he's not, and he just keeps plugging along. And I think these canvassers are really scared of that living in Detroit. Plus the fact that I think they were doxxed too. Isn't that nice? Anyway, good morning, L. Wolf, Midnight in Exile, Furry Kitten, Funky Animal of the Earl of Funkdom, and Anna Lynn. How you doing? On Wikipedia snippet, I don't know if I said hi already, but I'm saying it now. Hello. All right. Holy shit. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan said if the board would have declined to certify the results, it would have been an historically shameful act. I think certifying here's the thing. He says, glad to see common sense prevailed at the end, Duggan said. Thank you to all those citizens who spoke up so passionately. Yeah, I know what passionately could mean. Burn the place down. The board's vote came after the absentee ballot poll books at 70% of Detroit's 134 absentee counting boards were found to be out of balance without explanation. The mismatches varied anywhere. Now it says from 1 to more than 4 votes. Yeah, I'm sure that's all it was. In August, canvassers found 72% of Detroit's absentee voting precincts didn't match the number of ballots cast. The imbalances between August and November are not an exact comparison since August's canvassing was based on results from 503 precincts and November's canvassing was based on 134 counting boards. The situation in August and earlier imbalances in 2016 were not enough to keep the same board from certifying the results in this year's primary and November 2016. But about 6 hours into the tense meeting, the board decided to certify the results and asked Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, a sponsored Secretary of State by that guy you're not supposed to talk about, to audit the results in some of the county's problem precincts. The board then quickly adjourned the meeting. Whatever. Good morning, Chrome and Shaitan's Advocate. Shaitan's Advocate. We got Advocatus Diaboli and Shaitan's Advocate, both in the house. Good morning, Cynical Lindsay, also. So, anyway, now here's the Breitbart version of the same story. Wayne County reverses decision, certifies disputed election results as video goes dark. Wayne County, Michigan canvassers reversed late course Tuesday night and voted to certify the results from the November 3rd election, which have been disputed. Originally 2-2 against on party lines. The tie meant the election results were not certified. But later in the night, the Republican canvassers flipped and voted with the Democrats while the live video stream was down after hours of angry responses. Okay, we just read that from the Detroit News. They just basically are reporting what the Detroit News says. Let's see here. Ned Stabler's Twitter profile said he lives in Ann Arbor, not even Wayne County. Assailed the 2 Republicans on the board. Here's some. Yeah, who's that? This is here's the kind of here's some. Here we go. Here's what it sounds like. Here's what he said.
Just know when you try to sleep tonight that millions of people around the world now on Twitter know the name Monica Palmer and William Hartman as 2 people completely racist and without an understanding of what integrity means or a shred of human decency. The law isn't on your side. History won't be on your side. Just know when you try to sleep.
Let's just name them out. There we go.
On Twitter know the name Monica Palmer and William Hartman as 2 people completely.
Yeah, Yep. They're afraid. They're afraid their houses are going to be burned down. Their houses will probably burn down anyway. There'll be protesters in front of their houses. They just didn't want to take the fucking smoke. That's what that's all it amounts to. Then we got here, and then this person, Kristen Clark, 866 our vote. Victory. Public pressure matters. Public pressure should not matter if you're going to do the right thing. Okay. Hello, Rod Line. How you doing, furry kitten? Oh, sorry. I already said hi to furry kitten. The Wayne County Board of Canvassers has reversed course and unanimously agreed to certify the results upon the condition that the Secretary of State's office conduct an audit of precincts across the county. Yeah, they'll do some of them. So let's see. While the certification by Wayne County, the results will now move on to the State Board of Canvassers, which also has 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats as members. Over 100 observers have filed affidavits related to the vote counting process in Detroit. Several individuals have alleged that ballots being counted multiple times, ballots arriving in the dead of night, and observers being blocked from watching the tabulation process. That's the lawsuit that went to the Supreme Court in the state of Michigan that went absolutely nowhere. And then just the same thing. It's I've had 3 articles up about that one. Anyway, so that is I just can't believe this shit. It's amazing. And the thing is, all they would have to do is do an investigation of all those precincts and just audit the precincts and then come back. And yes, apparently they're supposed to certify them today so they can certify them by the state by a certain time. But no, let's just go. Fuck it. We're not gonna do any more. Yesterday, one of my theme was kind of, what was it? Put up or shut up. Remember that? Y'all remember that from yesterday? Well, I'm not the only one who has that sentiment in the American Spectator today. Let's see if I can get this article up real quick. Oh, why did that go out of balance so bad? Hang on, let me get this on the screen here. Un momento, por favor. Holy crap, why is that? Okay, there we go. Hurry up with that Kraken, will ya? Trump campaign's legal team seems quite confident of a big win to come, but should they be? That's a damn good question. I never say anything I can't prove. That's a quote from Sidney Powell, the superstar DC lawyer representing the Trump campaign over the weekend. As she made the rounds on cable news, Powell proceeded to drop several large bombs in those interviews and made a promise that has reverberated particularly in conservative circles. She said she would soon release the Kraken. I love saying that. Anyway, hi, Tyler F. Hi, Rodline. She said she would soon release the Kraken. The Kraken is a legendary monster from days of sailing ships. It's a giant squid reputed to wreck ships in the mid-ocean Atlantic. Its most recent iteration in pop culture comes from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which is likely where Powell picked up a reference. It's also a pretty good rum. Kraken rum. It's pretty nice stuff. In those movies, the Kraken is surely a fearsome creature. We don't yet know how fearsome is Powell's Kraken. I don't. That sentence just doesn't. It makes your mind race a little bit. And you go, wait, I don't want to know. don't yet know how fearsome is Powell's Kraken. Sorry. Hi, James PFP. What we do know is that Powell and other members of the team, like Rudy Giuliani, Jenna Ellis, and unofficially Lynn Wood, have been somewhat shockingly confident in the last few days, even despite the political winds blowing directly in their faces, winds admittedly generated by giant fans set up by the same legacy media organizations who've lined up against Trump in ways never before seen. When your news organization, for example, slants more than 90% of its features in a negative way towards the president, you can no longer be considered an objective news source. I wonder who does that. Anyway, that's one reason Americans of faith in the country as founded should guard against fatalism and surrender as the results of a failed 2020 the failed 2020 election are litigated. These newsies are liars, after all. The Washington Post proved it Sunday night with a story alleging Trump had dropped a key claim in its Pennsylvania lawsuit, which was 100% false. The cheery buoyancy of Powell, Giuliani, Ellis, Wood, and others is another reason. Still, those winds blow. Well, yes, CNN absolutely blows. Powell's Kraken had better be big, and I'm bad. Oh, shit. Sorry. That was a crack in the voice. I'm bad. You know it. Yes, it better be big and bad. According to her, though, it is. Over the weekend, Powell gave the broad outlines of rather shocking widespread conspiracy involving the electronic hacking of America's elections through a foreign-owned company called Dominion Voting Systems and a tabulation software from a company called Smartmatic, which was created in Venezuela, and another company known as Skytel, whose headquarters is in Barcelona, Spain. In fact, it's alleged the votes going into these systems were actually counted in Europe and then fed back here. If your first thought is that nothing created for Venezuela elections should ever make its way into our stores, well, then you are paying attention. The Dominion Smartmatic controversy is apparently related, though how we aren't quite sure, to a supercomputer named Hammer, created by the NSA for signals intelligence purposes, and an application on that computer known as Scorecard, which is reportedly capable of rigging elections all over the world. Whether Hammond's Scorecard used in Smartmatic to hack into Dominion machines to flip Trump votes for Biden is a matter of speculation at present. Yes, it all sounds quite fanciful, like John Grisham or John le Carre novel came to life, and the temptation is to throw up one's hand and ask if these lawyers have lost their damn minds. Okay, they didn't put damn in there, but that's how I say it. Good morning, Lord Stanhope. On the other hand, American politics has lost its immunity to fanciful conspiracy theories coming true. Let's remember the left did everything it could to derail the Trump presidency by use of perhaps the most absurd conspiracy theory this side of chemtrails, that the president colluded with Vladimir Putin to rig the 2016 election with $200,000 in Facebook ads. It still makes me laugh to this day. It's hilarious. It's like I should put this with it because it's that big of a joke. As it turned out, the real conspiracy was as absurd as it was true. That a dossier full of quite ridiculous assertions bought and paid for by the Hillary Clinton campaign was used as the pretext for an outgoing presidential administration to turn the full investigative powers of the intelligence community and the Department of Justice onto a presidential campaign of an opposite party for the purposes of opposition research. And that sounds like one of these too, but it was true. It's true. I need a sip of coffee. Okay, so it makes Watergate sound like a penny ante burglary, doesn't it? Then there was another true conspiracy, namely that the vice president of that corrupt former administration had used his crackhead son as a frontman for a pay-for-play bribery and racketeering scheme to suction several million dollars from a corrupt Ukrainian oil and gas company in return for weaponizing American foreign policy against that company's domestic enemies. It sounds like a joke. And When that conspiracy theory began to surface, we were given another absurd and widespread conspiracy theory, namely that when Trump asked for cooperation from Ukraine's new president into getting to the bottom of the Biden-Burisma corruption, it was evident that he was seeking a quid pro quo for American aid. The conspiracy theory, which was the flip side of an actual Democrat racket, was advanced as the justification for impeaching Trump. No, we've seen enough of American politics in 2020 that no allegations can be dismissed at hand. So, when Sidney Powell says the companies controlling voting and vote counting in swing states whose election results are peculiar at best and outright brazen in their fraud at worst were complicit in a scheme to fix the 2020 election, it behooves the American public to at least listen to the evidence. Thank you, GunFox61, for the second donation of the day. Another 5 spot from the good old Gunny. By the way, I hope you're feeling better. I hear you're not feeling well. I want you to get better as quickly as possible. Gunfox says, do you like your house, your right to free speech, your job? Well, too bad. I'm calling it. Higher taxes, gun bans, and gun buyback scams, ling lockdowns, and more businesses will be closed forever, higher unemployment, and more failure of schools. Biden for China. I think the audience agrees with you because they're clapping like madmen. Thank you, GunFox61. I agree. Because, yeah, changing the tax cuts when we're in this shithole and the lockdowns. Oh my God. Well, maybe I'll get to the lockdowns today. Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow. Anyway, so when Sidney Powell says the companies controlling voting and vote counting in swing states, I know I've already read this, but I'm reading it again. Vote counting in swing states whose election results are peculiar at best and outright brazen in their fraud at worst were complicit in a scheme to fix the 2020 election, it behooves the American public to at least listen to the evidence. What we know already isn't good. The British Lord Mark Malcolm Brown is involved with Smartmatic. Given his long-standing Soros ties, it isn't encouraging, nor is it a good thing that Kamala Harris's husband, Douglas Emhoff, is involved with the Smartmatic spinoff, or that Peter Neffinger, a Smartmatic board member, is now a member of the Biden transition team. I learned these things for the first time reading this article, by the way. The more you examine the players involved, the more statistical analysis of the election you see, specifically in the hard-to-reconcile differences in voting results in Atlanta, Milwaukee, Detroit, Las Vegas, and Philadelphia compared to those in large cities not located in disputed states. And the more affidavits are filed containing eyewitness reports of brazen mishandling of ballots, the more this election begins to resemble the doctored frauds of Latin America. I've been always wondering, too, because I've been hearing the term Banana Republic lately, and I'm just waiting. Pick a date. There's going to be a date between now and Inauguration Day when the term Banana Republic will become racist. You wait for it. I'm waiting for the first person. I'm going to guess somewhere around December 15th that the term Banana Republic will become a racist term. And in fact, the company Banana Republic, it makes some, nice kind of all drab colored clothes, probably will be, did they already go out of business, by the way? I'm curious, but they'll probably have to change their name because the term Banana Republic is going to become racist. I guarantee it. You just wait. And I'm going to guess here now, if I was doing Las Vegas odds and you kind of put a side bet on your bet to make a parlay, my parlay would be that someone from the squad is going to explain why Banana Republic is racist. Just saying. So there's a reason when less than half of America believes Biden fairly won the 2020 election, you have to be a partisan Democrat not to notice the smell. So when Powell and Wood, who are lawyers with well-established reputations as stars in their profession and who are not kooks by any definition, are confidently stating not only that the election was plagued with massive fraud and abuse, but that Trump will ultimately be declared the winner once it is all shaken out, it ought to be taken seriously, even if what's being said appears, before we've seen the evidence, to be a bit on the fanciful side. And despite how hard those foul political winds are blowing, let's see that Kraken for ourselves. And let's hope it's more than just a plate of calamari. So there you go. Thank you, American Spectator, for the... There was a lot of innuendo that I could have kept going with that, but I don't want to hear anything about anyone's Kraken. So, all right, gang. This reminds me of something I think Newt said. They aren't looking for revenge in 2016. They still want revenge for 2000. Yeah, I think so. But you know what? Because they were hoping for the revenge for 2000 in 2016, and then they didn't get it because she lost. Fuck. And now they don't want just revenge. They want blood. It's kind of weird. Anyway, all right, quick commercial because I need to get myself in combobulated again.
Hey everybody, it's me, Marty. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I hope you're enjoying the show. The Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, if you have a moment, take time to share this stream by hitting that little arrow down below or up here if you're on a mobile. And please hit the like button. I know you like it. You're still here and you're still watching. And finally, if you want to support the show, you can do that through your donations and super chats, which are in the description down below. You can do that at Streamlabs link or at PDawgKnight.live. That every little bit helps. And thank you for watching. Now back to the show.
All right, and I'm back, and I just got another sip of coffee. By the way, everyone pick up your drink right now if you have one, whether it's coffee or a Coke or a bourbon or orange juice or whatever you got around next to you, water even. We'll just have a toast to Hump Day. It's Hump Day. All right, so I could keep talking about. I have like 40 articles about the election and whatnot, but I need to change. I need to change gears here for a moment because of something I saw on Twitter last night. And I have a question, and maybe we'll do this as a discussion. Oh, Joe Biden's in the chat. Nice to see you. Joe Biden under the name Uncle Bad Touch down there. And also, good morning, Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Live. Mitt Romney, and I think did Dan Crenshaw do one of these two? This pissed me off when I saw this. So it was announced yesterday that the president is going to try to reduce troop levels in Afghanistan and Iraq again, trying to pull troops out and hopefully have them out by January. I think that's a fantastic idea because, well, I'll ask the question after I read what Mitt Romney said about that, which really has me wondering what the hell is going on. Uncle Mittens, here, hang on a second. Let me fix this so it fits on the page. I'll bring it down a little bit. There we go. Mitt Romney tweets this out yesterday. Decisions regarding troop levels in Afghanistan and Iraq should be based on our national security interests, not politics. The administration should reverse proposed troop withdrawals. Now, let me see. He has a statement here. Let's see if they kept the statement because it didn't work last night. Yep, they got a link to the statement. Here it is. U.S. Senator Mitt Romney, Republican Utah, today released the following statement after the Pentagon announced that U.S. plans to withdraw thousands of troops from Afghanistan and Iraq by January 15, 2021. Now, remember, that was one of Donald Trump's campaign promises that he was going to try to get as many troops as possible out of Iraq and Iran, or not Iraq and Afghanistan. Afghanistan's just a pile of rocks, basically. The decision to withdraw our troops from Afghanistan, Iraq, and potentially elsewhere should not be based on a U.S. political calendar. Who said they were being based on a political calendar? That's my first question. The administration has yet to explain why reducing troops in Afghanistan, where conditions for withdrawal have not been met, is a wise decision for our national security interests in the region. Similarly, with continued security challenges in the Middle East, an arbitrary withdrawal from Iraq risks alienating our allies and emboldening our enemies. Really? At a time when our adversaries are looking for every opportunity to exploit our weaknesses, the administration should reconsider reverse this politically motivated decision. What? A campaign promise is a politically motivated decision, and avoid worsening our national security challenges. All right, here's the question of the day, and I really just want creative answers, wrong answers, whatever. Because I'm dumbfounded by this statement from Senator Mitt Romney. And my question is going to be similar to how I replied to this on Twitter yesterday. And I'll find that real quick. It's in my profile under something that let's see. My question is, okay, I said, okay, I'll bite. Here's the question that I'd like you to answer creatively and wrong answers only. I mean, I want to see how creative my audience is today. Oh, I wrote, here's my reply to Mitt Romney. I said, okay, I'll bite. What is our national security interest in staying in Afghanistan for year 20? What is it those 4,500 or proposed 2,500 troops or any troops doing that is in our vital security interests? Okay, chat, let's see how creative you are. What are those troops doing that is in our vital security interest? Why? What is our national security interest in staying in Afghanistan for the 20th year? Our first answer, opium. Okay, that's a good answer. We must protect the opium. Okay. Jim, how you doing, by the way? Good morning. Who says add Russia to NATO and kick Turkey out? What the hell? What the hell is Mitt Romney thinking? Oh, let's see. Okay. Oh, there you go. Good one, Johnny Hellcat. The reason we should stay in Afghanistan is we need to comb the beach for lost change. Awesome. Yes. Because basically Afghanistan is pretty much it's a rocky beach. It's a giant rocky beach. Basically, there's nothing in Afghanistan. There's not even oil in Afghanistan, is there? I mean, I don't know why we're there still. Are we protecting the Afghan government who's, taking all the bribes from the United States? I don't know. Hello, Michael Hatfield. How you doing? Let's see. Heroin. That's a good answer. Poppies. Guarding the poppies. Opium. Everyone likes... boy, y'all must be a bunch of drug addicts. Man, y'all talking about protecting the opium. Oil and natural gas. Is there oil and natural gas? Not in Iraq, I understand. There's a lot of energy in Iraq. But in Afghanistan, it's just a bunch of rocks. Let's see. Oh, there. Now, Furry Kitten got what I'm looking for here. The reason we have troops in Afghanistan is because we need to close the portal to the underworld. That's an important job. Chrome, can't let the enemy have the heroin. True. Total carnage. Thank you, like the boy. Anna Lynn, we must secure. We must secure more children for Biden. Are we gonna? We're not gonna steal children from Afghanistan. Uncle Bobby, to keep the trade war going, defending the CIA's stash of poppies. That seems to be the big one. In Afghanistan, seriously, we have to protect the 90% of the world's heroin supply. Well, yeah, you need to take care of that. Poppy seed muffins need the Afghanistan poppies. Oh, poppy seed. Is that what they're called? What is that what they're called? Poppy seeds? Lemon poppy seed muffins, right? Yeah, that's a thing. Duck Dog, keeping the Afghan Kush out of the American weed shops. You know, I wonder if they have quality weed in Afghanistan. Not that I'm into weed. I'm not into weed at all. All right. Afghanistan also produces over 90% of the world's opiate. Yes. Hello. And Howard Welsh, nice to see you in the chat today. I'm not sure if you've been here before. Don't recognize the name. So anyone who is here that hasn't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button below and hit that bell so you get notifications. Oh, and bagels. Yeah, poppy seed bagels too. Hello, Moonbase Radio too. I don't think Mittens knows what withdrawal means. I don't know. All right. Well, there you go. Afghanistan. Fight for your rights. Good morning. Afghan Kush. Oh, their weed is terrible. Is this something you know from experience, Howard? I'm just curious. Rare minerals that China wants. You know what? The thing is, look, if there were rare minerals that China wanted from Afghanistan, don't you think they'd already would have been there? You know, it's like look, the Chinese are all over Africa right now. Everywhere, every little government in Africa, there are Chinese people there. I mean, it's amazing. When I like I said, when I went to Nigeria in 2004, I chuckled because I thinking, oh, I'm in another country. I'm in Nigeria, first time going to meet my father, and I at my sister's house in Lagos, and the first night, and she's like, well, we should go out to eat. And I'm thinking, oh, cool. I'm going to go out and eat some traditional Nigerian food or something like that. You know, maybe some goat and some plantains and shit like that. And my sister takes me to a Chinese restaurant. I laughed out loud when we went, because we were going to a restaurant. She didn't tell me where we were going. She's, we love this restaurant. We're going to go to this restaurant. And it was a Chinese restaurant. And it was great Chinese food, but I thought, I'm going halfway across the world to eat Chinese food. Are you kidding me? It's just hilarious. But my sister's awesome. I love her. China has a huge demand for ivory. Well, there's no ivory in Afghanistan. What are you talking about? Oh, special canned acid, a future poppy farm. Well, if we just completely take over the country, baby. Anyway, Marina Infantry was in Helmand multiple times. I don't know where that is. China, white Mexican mud. Marty, I'm not into weed at all. Damn, this brownies are good. Oh, damn, they're really good. Is that a flying car made of brownies? No, you all know my weed story. It wasn't a weed story. It was an edible story, and I'm never going to make that mistake again. So there you go. How was the Chinese in Nigeria? No, the Chinese food, it was very good. It wasn't, it was a slightly different taste profile, but it was really good. And it was pretty much, the same thing, you're still getting fried rice and, little chunks of whatever the meat is and whatnot. There are probably less regulations on Chinese food in Nigeria, so I'm not 100% sure that everything I was eating was what it was labeled, but my sister, it was good food, so there you go. All right, so yeah, that was the question of the day. Yeah, why? Why are we still freaking in Afghanistan? What is the national security interest of holding that pile of rocks? So the Taliban hides terrorists or something like that. We need to get the hell. Why? And by the way, when are they going to court-martial the dude who was lying about troop levels in Syria? Do you remember that story? When's that guy going to be court-martialed for that's literally treason. Or at least somebody belongs in jail for that one. All right. What else we got here? I have a couple other bookmarks. Let's go to my bookmarks here. By the way, let's see. So Sean Davis on this Mitt Romney thing, he's from the Federalist. Mitt Romney, who compared his son's political campaign work to military service, claims it's in our national security interest to keep sending American sons and fathers to die in Afghanistan for a 20-year-old war with no victory definition or exit strategy. And yes, that actually happened. Here's what he said. That Republican presidential hopeful Mitt Romney on Wednesday defended his 5 sons' decision not to enlist in the military, saying they're showing their support for the country by helping me get elected. Yeah, that's the same Mitt. And, and I actually voted for Mitt in 2012, and because I don't know why. He was slightly better than John McCain, who I could not bring myself to vote for in 2008. I predict such a fall in those willingly entering the military, especially with college debt forgiveness. They'll have to reinstitute the draft. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Romney has everything wrong with Washington stuck in gear. I tell you what, if you really like war, though, because there are some people who like war, defense contractors and military equipment manufacturers. And I don't have a problem with us having the greatest military in the world. That's a great thing, and it should be the greatest deterrent to anybody. What I don't like is that there are some people who just, they like putting us in places to keep making money, and I don't know. I'm not the military-industrial complex conspiracy theorist, but there's no reason for us to be in Afghanistan. I'm sorry. You can't give me a good reason why we. And the other thing is, whether it's 4,500 troops or 2,500 troops or 1,000, what difference? I don't want to sound like Hillary Clinton. What difference does that make? But what difference does? Even in Syria? What would 200 troops in Syria be doing other than logistical support for somebody else? I just don't get it. I don't freaking get it. So even though it's not Thursday, FTG Mitt Romney, he's a contrarian. He's a contrarian to anything Trump. It almost seems like he's kind of like who's that other guy? Oh my God, I almost said the dead cripple. Oh Jesus. Here's something funny about the elections this year that I found hilarious. Those experts, the experts, the pollsters, the people in the know, the political gurus, who they listed 27 House races as toss-ups. Remember that? They were talking about what races, they're predicting what's going to happen, and they had 27 House races as toss-ups. Well, Republicans won all 27 of the toss-up races. On Monday, we heard about Burgess Owens. Burgess Owens, the former NFL player and vocal critic of Colin Kaepernick, was declared the winner in Utah's 4th congressional district despite running against an incumbent and trailing by 11% in the final polling. Owen prevailed in a race deemed a toss-up by Cook Political Report, a nonpartisan election and campaign analysis group popular among legacy media outlets. Ahead of the 2020 election, Cook listed 27 races as toss-ups, meaning they were too close to predict one way or the other. Republicans won all 27. Nope, that's not a typo, despite being assured that by being assured that conservatism was about to drown beneath an impending blue wave. Republicans won every single close race. Republican also won all 26 races deemed leaning or likely Republican, and even picked up 7 of the 36 seats listed as leaning or likely Democrat. Despite nearly unanimous predictions that Democrats would further cement control of the House, they now hold just a 218-204 advantage, with Republicans poised to pick up more seats as they lead in 8 of the remaining 13 races. Republican dominance in supposedly 50-50 districts is yet another reminder of just how wrong polls were in 2020 and how wrong they've been for some time. What should embarrass pollsters most, though, is not the fact that they were wrong, but how one-sided they were in their process. Across the board, pollsters routinely underrepresented support for Republicans while falsely painting a picture of an impending Democrat dominance. Are the American people supposed to think that it's a coincidence that nearly every time a poll missed the mark in 2020, which was often, it was in favor of Democrats? That's just fucking hilarious. I'm not going to read the rest, but yeah. So they were so accurate in their predictions. That also makes me wonder. Okay, how is it that in so much of the country, you get there's no wave, the blue wave, which turned out to be a crashing nothing. John Arnott, how you doing? And Mitch the Ripper, what's up? And Faithless is here. Hello, I'm John. Okay, I'm catching up on who's in the chat. How is it that Republicans were so successful this year, but we still have this? How did Trump lose in that same vein? It's irregularities, and I don't mean the kind you need Pepto-Bismol for. Susan Collins, I don't think we should compromise on the far left agenda. Well, is she saying she's against it or for it? Now I'm just going to read it because of that. Susan Collins, I don't think we should compromise on the far left agenda. Senator Susan Collins, a Maine Republican who defied the polls that had her losing the election. Oh, that was another one. Yeah, they had her losing by like 14 points and she won by 11. Is returning to Washington willing to compromise with Democrats on some issues, but not all. Well, I don't think we should compromise on the far left agenda that Bernie and others are pushing, Collins told Fox News' Martha McCallum on Monday night. How long's this? Yeah, it's only 2 minutes. Let's listen to Susan Collins here.
And I think one of the messages that voters sent was they are rejecting that far left agenda.
They sure are.
Which includes packing the Supreme Court,
Yep,
defunding our police officers,
Yep.
and also ending the...
In Georgia, in the Senate runoff election with Ossoff and Warnock and Plouffe, or not, what was his name? Perdue and... what's the blondie name? I don't know her name. But all they have to do to win those Senate runoffs is just keep pushing the defund the police message. That's what Democrats wanted. And all the stuff that all the crazy stuff. Packing the court. If you get these 2 senators, they're going to try to pack the court. They're going to try to defund the police. They're going to do all this shit. Whether or not those 2 believe that or not, that was the winning message, because that shit's nuts. Okay, just FYI. Let's finish listening to her here.
Filibuster, Medicare for all, which would decrease the quality and accessibility of health care in this country, cause many of our rural hospitals to close. Yeah. Those are far left ideas, and I know Bernie sincerely believes in them. But I think it's pretty clear that most of America does not.
How are you going to work with Mitch McConnell, the majority leader? At least he is now, and he hopes he will be after those Georgia races.
Talk like Catherine Hepburn,
if you're going to try to do some things in the middle lane here, he may not be in the mood to do that. He wants to win even more seats in the Senate in 2022, and he may not be wanting to compromise on a lot of these things.
On what things are you talking about?
Well, I don't think we should compromise on the far left agenda that Bernie and others are pushing.
Okay.
But I do think there are ways to work together on everything from another COVID relief bill to deal with the health and economic consequences of the pandemic.
Okay, enough of her. I don't care. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Susan Collins is a very middle of the road, Republican, and I'm glad she got reelected, because that's about the best you're going to get in Maine. And all right, whatever. So anyway, the story of the story of former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is one of a whole lot of money spent on broken promises, no results, and a bad reputation. The schadenfreude that I feel for Michael Bloomberg, that he spent all this money and got nothing. Especially in the Democratic primaries where he just got bitch slapped just to hell. Elizabeth Warren, as much as I can't stand Elizabeth Warren, I feel blessed to have actually seen that Democratic debate where she ripped him to shreds, and I thought it was hilarious. So anyway, Michael Bloomberg proved to be an embarrassing failure. The story of former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is one of a whole lot of money spent on broken promises, no results, and a bad reputation. Bloomberg's late entry into the crowded Democratic presidential primary last fall was marked with the intrigue of a well-financed and well-known candidate deploying a unique strategy in an unusual race. One of the richest men in the world who built a financial empire complete with massive media conglomerate reaching his name to the far corners of the earth, Bloomberg served 3 terms as New York City mayor before jumping into presidential politics personally. And I mean personally. He spent his own money. The Manhattan business mogul dove both feet in as a relatively fresh face whose political reputation beyond the Big Apple could be described as the big gulp guy for his ban on large sodas. With a net worth of about $53 billion with a B at the time, he launched his campaign, and coming from the same background as the incumbent president, Bloomberg was in a position to brand himself as richer than Donald Trump, smarter than Donald Trump, more experienced than Donald Trump, and more successful than Donald Trump, while claiming to be a moderate voice in a primary pushing the party left at breakneck speed. Thank you, Azul Azroth, for subscribing. I appreciate you joining the fun. Even though Donald and I are both from New York, the truth is we could not be more different, Bloomberg said during a campaign at stop in Salt Lake City, Utah in February. In fact, I bill myself as the un-Trump. Yeah, and you're really short, too. According to a poll from the Morning Consult released one day earlier, the voters appeared to agree. 39% of registered voters rated Bloomberg as the most successful businessman between President Trump and fellow Democratic rival Tom Steyer, also a billionaire. Bloomberg's strategy was unconventional, acknowledging he was likely too late in the game to be competitive in the first primary states. Bloomberg instead flexed his financial muscle to build a nationwide... You know what? Do I really want to read this? I just want to laugh at Bloomberg. I don't want to read this whole article. What's great is he got pummeled. He spent $100 million. Okay, let's just give you the short story. Bloomberg spent $100 million in the Democratic primaries and barely got 0.5% of the votes. Then he went and spent hundreds of $1 billion. Someone's saying up to like another 100 million or so in Florida alone to try to unseat Trump, buying ads and shit like that. I don't know if he made himself his own PAC or what he did, but spent his own money, hundreds of millions of dollars in Florida. Trump wins Florida rather handily. And I just think the idea that he spent all this money and got nothing for it is hilarious. And so if you really, really, really want to read the article on Bloomberg, I'm going to put it in the chat, but I'm just going to do that. Anyway, Azroth, welcome to the show. Keeping fear of an enemy at the gates produce generations with PTSD that the opposite party can use as a cudgel against the other party for their failure to control a situation, all for power. Oh, you must be talking about COVID. Or global, what do they call it now? Climate change. I can't really say global warming anymore, even though they still talk about the warming. Yeah, that's the cudgel right there. You know what? Like I said yesterday, these COVID restrictions, someone article we read yesterday, the COVID restrictions that they're doing now, they're just a test run for the global warming restrictions. It's not, it's not, oh, good God. they're testing. They're trying to see how much authoritarianism they can get away with when it's for COVID. You got to stop the virus. We can't let anyone else get the virus. So we're going to try to lock you down. Anyway, John Arnott, verboten. What is verboten? I know what verboten is, except it's verboten, VERBOTEN. Unless verboten is another word. Anyway, let's see other headlines coming up here. Let's see. Oh, back to my bookmarks. I got to do those first. Also, I got a message here. What is the message here from Aaron? What did you send me? Oh, now this I did not know. This is from okay, here's a story about Afghanistan. I'm going to pop this up here. Thanks, Aaron. This is interesting. Chinese troops appear to be operating in Afghanistan, and the Pentagon is okay with it. What? This is from Military Times. There's mounting evidence that Chinese ground troops are operating inside Afghanistan, conducting joint counter-terror patrols with Afghan forces along a 50-mile stretch of their shared border, and fueling speculation that Beijing is preparing to play a significantly greater role in the country's security once U.S. and NATO leave. The full scope of China's involvement remains unclear, and the Pentagon is unwilling to discuss it. We know that they are there, that they are present, a Pentagon spokesman said, yet beyond subtle acknowledgement, U.S. military officials in Washington and in Kabul would not respond to several detailed questions submitted by Military Times. This dynamic stands in stark contrast to the two sides' feisty rhetoric over their ongoing dispute in the South China Sea, and to Washington's vocal condemnation of Russian and Iranian activity in Afghanistan. One explanation may be that this quiet arrangement is mutually beneficial. Okay. Well, they do share that little tiny border right here. Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan. I think I'm saying all these right. But there's a tiny, tiny little border with China right there. And then you got Pakistan right here. Both Chinese and Afghan governments have disputed reports of joint patrols inside Afghanistan. Those first surfaced late last year when India's Wian News published photos claiming to show Chinese military vehicles in a region called Little Pamir, which is, let's see, do they have it on this map? They do not. I'm assuming it's somewhere in this area here, though. As you can see my cursor. Can you see my cursor? Yeah, you can. Okay. A barren plateau near the border. Reuters, an international news agency, also recently documented the development. The vehicles were identified as Dongfeng EQ-2050s, which is a Chinese equivalent of the U.S. Humvee, and I'm sure it's equivalent. I'm sure they found one, took it apart, and built their own. It's probably a replica of a Humvee. And a Norinco VP-11A, which are the mine-resistance MRAPs developed by the U.S. military last decade. China maintains that while its police forces do not conduct joint counterterrorism operations along the border based on existing bilateral agreements between the two nations, the People's Liberation Army does not. Okay, that's interesting. That is very interesting. So there you go. That might tell you, I don't know what that tells you, but it tells me that they might be there. All right, back into my bookmarks. I had one other thing I wanted to talk about that's in my bookmarks. Oh no, we talked about that yesterday. All right, back to some of the headlines. Let's see. 2 Oregon counties petitioned to join Idaho for political differences. What? Are the counties in Oregon going to secede from the state? Interesting. Here we go. 2 Oregon counties petitioned to join Idaho over political differences. Let's see. They voted to push their lawmakers toward moving their communities to Idaho because they feel the neighboring state is more reflective of their political views. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention,
China is asshole.
the measure is part of a larger movement to create Greater Idaho, a group mainly composed of citizens from southern and eastern Oregon, northern California, and Idaho who wish to be better represented by their state, according to their webpage. Jefferson County, 51% of voters support the measure, while 52% of voters in Union County supported it as well, KGW8 reported. The chances Jefferson and Union counties leaving Oregon are slim, as it will require votes by both the Oregon and Idaho legislatures as well as the U.S. Congress. However, that's not the immediate goal of these towns, Oregon Public Broadcasting reported. Here, let's get rid of that. A group called Move Oregon's Border for Greater Idaho is leading the effort to have Oregon rural counties secede from the rest of the state and join Idaho. That's just crazy. Mike McCarter, a retired plant nursery worker and firearms instructor from Lapine, who led a petition drive to get on the ballot, spoke with OPB to speak about the new momentum behind the measure. I'm really not sure what the chances are if you're going to put into odds or bet on it, McCarter told the outlet, but if we don't attempt to do something like that, we continue to go down a road of frustration about the state legislature not paying attention to rural Oregon. So they can't secede without legislative approval, plus both states would have to vote on it, and it would take an act of Congress, apparently, for that to happen. But it's an interesting thought, as opposed to an interesting thought. I haven't used that joke in so long. And nobody reacts. Okay, there you go. It actually could happen, but unlikely. Interesting. I wonder if they grow potatoes in those two counties, because then they would absolutely fit right in. Let's see. Let's talk about... oh, good God. Mesvin, an alum of the Obama administration's National Security and International Affairs branch of the Office of Science and Technology Policy, also served as a visiting scholar at the University of Pennsylvania Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global. Biden transition leader advocated for a U.S. and Chinese Communist Party to work together on gene editing. Oh, good Lord. I even want to look at. I don't want to look at that. Let's see. Let's talk about the media. Oh, I almost forgot about the hearing yesterday. Let's get into that a little bit. So Senator Josh Hollings, a Republican from Missouri, during the hearings yesterday, let's see, is that fitting on the page right? Yes, it is. Okay. Claims to have clear evidence that Facebook, Google, and Twitter plot censorship together. Well, it is funny how they tend to ban people simultaneously. Isn't it weird how they do that? A lot of times you hear about somebody getting banned from Twitter, and then all of a sudden they're banned from Facebook and YouTube and other Google products. On Tuesday, Senator Josh Hawley, Republican Missouri, claimed that a former Facebook employee approached him with documents presenting clear evidence. Excuse me. Just trying not to cough. I have a cough. I have a coof. Anyway, clear evidence that Facebook, Google, and Twitter coordinate on censorship, and that Facebook tracks its users' behavior even when they leave the platform. Well, we already knew that. Good Lord. Well, I'll bring this up later. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg disputed the first claim and said he did not know about the program in the second claim. Do you hear that sentence? Do you hear what I just read? He doesn't know. He disputed the first claim and said he did not know about the program in the second claim. Not claiming that it didn't exist, but he just doesn't know about it. He didn't know all about it. Facebook confirmed to PJ Media that the company does work with Twitter and Google to fight terrorism. I didn't know half of the right in this country were terrorists. Anyway, they like to think they are. But repeated Zuckerberg's insistence that it does not coordinate with other tech companies on content moderation. Really? How about Alex Jones? Did y'all just happen to did Alex Jones get just banned across the across the mainstream platforms all the same time, but there was no coordination whatsoever. Please. Pitch, please. You're coordinating together to control information, Hawley said to Zuckerberg. In recent days, my office was contacted by a Facebook whistleblower, a former employee of the company with direct knowledge of the company's content moderation practices. And I want to start by talking about an internal platform called Tasks that Facebook uses to coordinate projects, including censorship. The Task platform allows Facebook employees to communicate about projects they're working on together. That includes Facebook's censorship teams, including the so-called community well-being team, the integrity team, and the hate speech engineering team, who all use the Task platform to discuss which individuals or hashtags or websites to ban, the senator claimed. Zuckerberg admitted that Facebook employees use the Task systems, quote, for people coordinating all kinds of work across the company, end quote. It seems to be something of a company-wide to-do list. Interesting. Hawley presented a screenshot of Tasks. Here, let me stop for a second. Thank you, John Arndt, with the $5 super chat through YouTube. Thank you very much. No message, but you are greatly appreciated, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, something that happened yesterday. Let me do a quick aside here, because I you know me, I'm easily distracted sometimes. So yesterday, a couple of you did something that I thought was hilarious, and I would love to see more of it. What was the one yesterday? So yesterday, I think it was Gunfox who did the first one, was it? Let's see here. Hang on a second. No, it was Maddie. Maddie did one, and who was it? Hang on a second. Yes, Maddie did. It was hilarious, and I would love to see more of these. So when I talk about you guys are the sponsors of the show, I mean that. You're the sponsor of the show. I probably will never ever, no matter how, if this channel grows or what, no matter how the channel this grows, I don't think I'm ever going to take on sponsors. However, since you are the sponsors of the show, when you do super chats and or donations through Streamlabs or whatever, I would love to see more of the creative ad writing. So yesterday, Maddie, on one of her super chats, was an actual sponsor of the show. And so she said, oh wait, no, was it Maddie who wrote it? No, somebody else. That was Flip Flips. Wait a minute, where's the bat one? But Maddie did one too. There are two great ads. Oh, what the hell? Where is it? Okay, it's missing. Well, here's Maddie's ad. If a bat from the American Bat Company makes you smile, but Melee makes you queasy, they are partnered with Chancla, the brand flip-flop made from the latest human technology in the U.S. It's perfectly balanced for throwing and weighted for maximum impact. So if you make the super chats, where's the Bat Company one? I know it was in a super chat. Okay, I can't find it. So anyway, if you want to get creative, write a commercial when you do your super chats, unless you have something that you want me to read that's obviously. Oh yeah, Gunfox did Bats for America. Why can't I find it? I thought it was hilarious, and I can't, for some reason it's missing. That really bums me out. That was a great ad. So anyway, if you can't think of something to say, write an ad for. It could be a mythical product. It could be anything, or just say something related to what's happening in the chat and what we're talking about. But I thought that was hilarious. Hello, Ma-A. Nice to meet you, the chunkling throwing champion of Puerto Rico. I don't know what that is, but hello, Ma-A. I didn't even see you here. So good morning. Good morning and welcome to the show. So, by the way, there's 54 people here and 24 likes. Hit the like button if you like what we do. What was I talking about? Oh, Josh Hawley. Let's get back to this Josh Hawley thing. So he's talking to Zuckerberg and talking about how they coordinate their censorship across all these giant platforms that, I call them the techno oligarchs. Okay. Zuckerberg admitted that Facebook employees use a task system for people coordinating all kinds of work across the company. It seems to be something of a company-wide to-do list. Hawley presented screenshots of tasks mentioning reference to election integrity. What particularly intrigued me is that the platform reflects censorship input from Google and Twitter as well, the senator claimed. So Facebook, as I understand it, Facebook's censorship teams communicate with their counterparts at Twitter and Google, and then enter those companies' suggestions for censorship onto Task's platform so that Facebook can then follow up with them and then coordinate those censorship efforts. Holly asked Zuckerberg, does Facebook coordinate its content moderation policies or efforts in any way with Google or Twitter? The Facebook CEO admitted, we do coordinate and share signals on security-related topics. For example, if there's a signal around a terrorist attack or around child exploitation imagery or around a foreign government creating an influence operation. Could he mean Russia? Wait, what the hell there? Could he mean Russia? Maybe? Was he talking about Russia? Oh my God. I lost my place just because that made me laugh so hard. We do coordinate and share signals on security-related topics. For example, if there is a signal around a terrorist attack or around child exploitation imagery or around a foreign government creating an influence operation, the companies will share that information with one another. Oh, is that all? It's that narrowly defined in your company, guidelines, I'm sure. That is distinct from the content moderation policies that we or the other companies have, where once we share intelligence or signals between the companies, each company makes its own assessment of the right way to address concerns. Yes, I'm sure they completely and absolutely independently make decisions on their own after talking about the joint information that they share with each other. I'm sure they just don't coordinate anything at all. Holly goes, I'm talking about content moderation. I'm talking about individuals, websites, hashtags, phrases to ban. Is it your testimony that you do not communicate with Twitter or Google? Holly pressed. And in pure robot fashion, Senator, we do not coordinate our policies, Zuckerberg explained. The Facebook CBO admitted that content moderation teams at Facebook will likely do communicate with their counterparts at Twitter or Google, but he insisted that this communication is different from coordinating what our policies are or what our responses are in specific instances. Holly, in an arguably overly aggressive stance, demanded that Zuckerberg commit to providing a list from the Task platform every mention of Google or Twitter. Zuckerberg said he would be willing to work with the senator on the issue after the hearing, but he was hesitant to commit to sharing search results, likely because he cannot know if any proprietary information would come up in such a search. Well, there you go. Anyway. Thank you, Gunfox, with the $5 and Streamlabs. Did I get that right? Or $2, I'm sorry, in Streamlabs, who says, this hour block is sponsored by Bats for America. We make our bats from the best oak. If you have someone who you want to beat their face against your bat, our bats can stand up to it. Oh, Bob approved. Okay, I butchered that, but you get a bell and you get a cheer from the audience. Thank you, Gunfox61. Yeah, I love that. I think that could be a new feature or a new quirk that you see on this show that you don't see on many shows. I know that Scribe Light used to do that on Lords of the Night. I would love to if people would do that. If you want to write your own ad that's a sponsor of the show, I'd appreciate it. Thank you again, Gunfox61. That's awesome. Although Scribe used to write the ads and you give the topic, but I don't have the mind that Scribe has as far as creativity. So you write your ads and put them in the super chat and we'll read them and then we'll know who sponsored the show. Thank you, Bats for America, our sponsor this hour. And I don't know if I could do the show without Bats for America. So thank you. Thank you, Gun Fox 61. Anyway, so, so if you want, I'm going to let y'all read this. If you didn't watch any of that hearing yesterday, it seems like the same hearing over and over and over again. And I really don't know what they can do. I personally believe, because they're not gonna get rid of Section 230 of U.S. Code. I really believe, though, that if someone went in there and sued one of those platforms and could prove that they've been acting as a publisher for other things, and that they, if they did do that, though, and so now suddenly these platforms are going to just censor things more, is that a good thing? The idea is to make them platforms of free speech, of being able to say, what you want without causing actual harm to people. I can understand having guidelines for actual harm, but even with all this election BS, okay, where they're trying to tell you what you should and should not believe, what you should and should not be able to say. Okay, the thing with the New York Post, when they were talking about, all the stuff that they were doing, and they blocked they literally blocked the fourth largest newspaper in the country from posting about a story that's certainly within the public interest, but they saw it as possible hacked information is what they said, which is just bullshit. So I don't know. All right. Let's see. I got a couple more. Let's see. I have time for one or two more. Let's see here. Let's stay in the First Amendment. Oh gosh. I'm sorry, but you got to see this. This woman, Mazie Hirono, the the senator from Hawaii, in this hearing yesterday. Let's see. Let's get this up here. Pull this up. So, Senator Hirono, conservatives don't face discrimination on social media because Media Matters says so. Now, Mazie Hirono, Democrat of Hawaii, who is ranked as one of the most partisan and far-left members of the U.S. Senate, claimed on Tuesday that social media bias against conservative users does not exist, as she complained that the publications like Fox News and the Daily Wire perform too well on the platform. Mr. Zuckerberg, for the second time in 3 weeks, you have been called before the Senate committee so my Republican colleagues can beat you up over claims that your platforms are supposedly biased. You know what? Do they have a video? I just want to hear her. Oh, well, they didn't put the video in. Oh, here we go. Maybe this is it. Is this the video? No, that's what's his face? Ben. I almost called him Ben Affleck. I mean Ben Shapiro. Supposedly biased against conservatives. The fact of the matter is that these allegations are completely baseless. Hirono said that there was no evidence that social media platforms were biased against conservatives because Media Matters for America, a leftist organization that smears conservatives and advocates harming conservative news organizations with boycotts, says so. Yes, Media Matters says they're not. Everyone who says, and then she says, everyone who has systematically looked at the content of social media, from Media Matters to the Cato Institute to former Senators John Kyle, has found absolutely no evidence of anti-conservative bias, and data from CrowdTangle shows that far-right content from the likes of Fox News, Ben Shapiro, Dan Bongino dominates the daily top 10 most engaged pages on Facebook. Well, it's funny. It's funny what happens when people get to choose what they want to see, but that doesn't mean that because those outlets have greater engagement means that it dominates. It just dominates Facebook. It just means that the left has so many more choices. And holy shit. Anyway, so she says So all of these allegations, oh, I should talk like her. So all of these allegations about the fact that you hire or all of your employees are left of center is relevant of nothing. Certainly not relevant on some sort of anti-conservative bias in terms of your content moderation, Hirono claimed. So the way that I see it, this hearing is a transparent effort by my Republican colleagues to work the refs, and unfortunately, in my view, it's working. Politico reported that the report authored by Kyle does not come to a definitive conclusion about whether bias exists on the platform, but appears designed to quell mounting accusations by GOP leaders. Hirono also painted a misleading picture of how conservative content performs on Facebook, as she failed to mention that, according to data that Facebook have made public, mainstream media publications, which are typically left of center, dominate on Facebook in terms of the number of people who see their content. The data provided by Facebook shows that the following publications are included in Facebook's top 10 ranking of publishers whose content reaches the most users on the platforms: CNN, lefties; NBC News, lefties; The Washington Post, lefties; The New York Times, lefties; CBS News, lefties; USA Today, lefties; People, lefties; and NPR, really lefties. This list includes Fox News, depending on which division you're talking about, and The New York Post, which are typically more right-of-center publications. So there you go. Yeah. Oh, is this her? Oh, do I have to listen? Listen now. All right. Here's a test. We're going to listen to Maisie Hirono and see how well I imitated her voice inflections. Here we go. And we're not going to listen to all of it, but here we go. Maybe. Okay. What? Oh, this. So this, again, the Daily Wire embeds never have sound. I think Twitter is freezing out the Daily Wire from embedding video from Twitter. So let's do a little bit of Maisie Hirono here, just so until your ears start bleeding.
3 weeks. You've been called before the Senate committee so my Republican colleagues can beat you up over claims that your platforms are supposedly biased against conservatives. The fact of the matter is that these allegations are completely baseless. Everyone who has systematically looked at the content of social media, from Media Matters to the Cato Institute to former Republican Senator John Kyle, has found absolutely no evidence of anti-conservative bias. And data from CrowdTangle show that far.
Okay, so I kind of have it. I kind of have her affect down, I think. Okay, all right, Let's finish with this. If I can still find it, we're gonna finish off with a hate hoax, because they never happened. Oh, what happened to it though? Okay, we're not going to... Oh, here it is. So we'll finish off with a hate crime hoax because, it's never enough. It is... Look, here it is. It's Jussie Wednesday. Remember, if you've been here long enough to know what Jussie Wednesday is, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember Jussie Wednesdays. Because maybe... since we no longer have Jussie Smollett to talk about on Wednesdays, although I still don't know what's going on with his case. There hasn't been any new news. I haven't looked it up for a while. But if we're going to use Jussie, in the spirit of Jussie Wednesday, we'll finish the show with a hate crime hoax. Just because that's how we... Oh, wait, what the hell did I do there? Hang on. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, let's fix that. There we go. Let's finish with Jussie Wednesday with a hate crime hoax. Its default mute embed makes the player so small. Mute is a small icon. Yeah, I know. But I clicked the mute icon. It just didn't work. Anyway, all right. So yet another alleged hate crime turned out to be a hoax. This time in Buffalo, New York. Clifton Yeatsy 18, claimed his BMW X5 was vandalized as part of a hate crime, with the perpetrator writing every message left-wing provocateurs think the right believes. Spray painted across the SUV were racist and homophobic slurs, including the N-word and KKK, as well as anti-Black Lives Matter messages containing profanity. To top it all off, the alleged perpetrator painted a message supportive of President Donald Trump and put sugar in the gas tank. WGRZ reported the outlet reached out to the Erie County GOP officials for comment because of the Trump slogan. Well, of course they did, because surely it was somebody from the Erie County GOP office who did the vandalism. But a month after the initial story gained local media headlines, Erie County District Attorney John Flynn announced that Yutzi, the owner of the vehicle, was being charged with multiple crimes in relation to the incident. WGRZ reported that Yutzi was charged with insurance fraud in the 3rd degree, a Class D felony. See, brothers getting felonies. Good God. Offering a false instrument for filing in the 2nd degree, a Class A misdemeanor. Falsifying business records in the 2nd degree, a Class A misdemeanor. Falsely reporting an incident in the 3rd degree, a Class A misdemeanor. Yutzi faces up to 7 years in prison for the crimes due to his, and is due back in court on January 11th, 2021. Do they have video on this? I wanted to show you pictures of what he did, because he fucked that van up. Let me see. Let's do this. I'm going to click the WGRC story. Let's see if we get this. Yeah, and what the hell is a 17-year-old? I mean, maybe his parents got some money. 17-year-old driving a BMW X5. Maybe, I mean, who knows if it was used or what. I want the video. Here, let's see. Let's see if we can, I want to see if I can get the story. Here we go. Here's the original story. Car in Buffalo spray painted with racist and homophobic graffiti. Where the hell's that coming from? Is that? Shut up, U.S. Bank. Get off my screen. Okay. Whoa. Oh, here's the. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, that was the preview to this. Here we go. We'll play this.
North Buffalo. Picking up and seeing your car looking like you had never seen it before. A North Buffalo family's SUV was vandalized.
Now, what is amazing about this? When are these news stations gonna learn? When are they gonna learn that they should be skeptical immediately, but they want this to be real so bad. Anyway, here's the original story.
Overnight, it's now covered in racist and homophobic graffiti, and police want to know who did it.
Racist.
Our Jeff Preval heard from the family impacted, and he's got some exclusive video in this investigation.
Over here on. Hold on. Thank you, GunFox61. Oh. Well, we have another sponsor. Thank you, GunFox61, for making me aware of one of our sponsors of today's shows. Rope for America. For all your hanging needs, need to hang something? We got the finest rope. From horse to nylon, we have it all. Don't worry, we don't sell user info or sell it to the cops. Mob approved. Thank you, GunFox61. Whoops, I hit the wrong one. And but you get a cheer for that one. Thank you. Thank you for our sponsors today. All right, here's the rest of this stupid story.
On Saranac Ave in North Buffalo, I spoke to that family impacted briefly off camera, and they tell me that they have no idea who would have done this.
No idea.
Here are some pictures provided to us from the owner of the car. We have blurred out offensive messages. Here's what was spray painted on that car.
But of course, vote Trump is not an offensive message. Oh, they even damaged the windshield.
swastikas, the N-word, KKK, and profanity against Black Lives Matter. It appears a brick was thrown at the car's windshield. In a police report, the victim claims sugar was poured into the gas tank. The owner of the car says that this happened sometime between last night and early this morning. Residents on Saranac Ave say that they've never had any issues like this before.
You know what? Here's the thing. I told you this a long time ago. If you see some hate crime of this nature, whether it's a swastika written on a wall or someone putting the N-word on somewhere, if in the same article the word the so-called hate crime and the word Trump are in the same article or same incident, you know it's a fake. Every single time someone says that someone Trump with a Trump hat took off her hijab, or someone with a Trump hat sprayed at me with some kind of flammable substance, or someone stopped me, a bunch of people with Trump on their t-shirts, poured gas and tried to set me on fire, or put a rope around my neck when I was getting my sub from Subway. If the word Trump is involved in the hate crime, you automatically know it's fake. Every single time. Except the only exception, and we still don't know about the dude in the van that was putting the fake, I think it was fake bombs or something. But almost every single time, it's going to be a fake. If it's a hate crime and somewhere in the hate crime, the name Trump is involved.
Buffalo police, they are investigating this incident as a potential hate crime.
Oh,
and now we have exclusively obtained some home surveillance video from Buffalo police. You do see a car pull up, someone appear to spray paint the car and then drive away. Now, because there is a message in support of President Trump, we have reached out to the Erie County GOP.
And why? Why would you bother reaching out to the Erie County GOP for this incident? Do you think someone in the Erie County GOP office came and did this? Why?
Get a response, and we have heard back from a spokesperson saying that they condemn what happened. If anyone out there has any information about...
Oh, no, of course, no, you're going to call them and they're going to say, oh, yeah, oh, that happened? Oh, congratulations to the perpetrator of that incident. I'm sure that's exactly what they would say. Is that what you're expecting? Why would you even bother? Why would you even bother calling the Erie County GOP? Good
what
God.
happened. You're asked to call the Buffalo Police confidential tip line. That number is 847-2255.
So that was the original report.
In North Buffalo, I'm Jeff Preval,
in North
Channel
Buffalo.
2 News.
Suck my ass. Anyway, so he's coming up on insurance fraud charges. Here's the story. Here's the story of him being accused of doing what he did. Okay, there's a short ad. It's 13 seconds long. Let's see how the report goes. Here, skip ad. There we go.
And a teenager from Buffalo is now facing numerous fraud charges after investigators say that he intentionally vandalized his very own vehicle. The DA's office has charged 18-year-old.
So a 17-year-old with neck tattoos driving a BMW X5. That seems normal.
Clifton Utzi with felony insurance fraud and 3 misdemeanor charges. You may remember reports back in October.
Here's what's going to happen.
A man whose SUV was...
They're going to drop the felony insurance fraud charges. You watch, because that's felony.
Spray painted with racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic graffiti while on Saranac Avenue in the city. Well, investigators now believe it was Utzi himself who did that to his own vehicle.
Well, you saw the video that they had. It was some skinny little dude. Oh, Utzi's a skinny little dude. Imagine that.
Claim with his insurance provider. He faces 7 years in prison if convicted as charged.
He'll get probation and whatever. So anyway, so in honor of Jussie Wednesday, we get a fake hate crime. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time. I'm running out of time before I have to leave my house again for the grind of the day. So thank you very much to to our sponsors, Gunfox 61 and the Bats for America and Rope for America. Appreciate you. And also thank you, John Arnott, and everyone who's joined the fun today. Thank you, our new member of the family, Azul Azaroth. Welcome to the show. And ladies and gentlemen, before you leave, before you do anything else, before you even think of going one way or the other or clicking anything or typing anything, I would like you very much to take the time and decide whether or not you like this show. And if you really like this show, well, you can show that appreciation by hitting the like button before you go. We've got 54 people in the house and 38 likes. Hit the like before you go. And if you really, really like the show, share this with those you love. Hello, Willie. I didn't even see you drop in. Hello. Share the show with the ones you love. And the ones you don't love, for all I care. Just share it wherever. Hit the share arrow down below. Share it through Twitter, Minds, Gab, and Parler. By the way, follow me on Twitter and Parler or Minds and Gab if you've been kicked off those platforms. And I'm starting to get more active on Parler. I'm already very active on Twitter. And also, that's a great way to get notifications in case the YouTube thing doesn't work that well. And finally, donations to me and the show, which have been used to do a lot of great things. I bought a second screen with donations, the new microphone setup, everything that, because I improve the show as much as I can with your donations. And those are greatly appreciated. You can do that through YouTube Super Chats, through Streamlabs, 24 hours a day. Do the Streamlabs link in the description down below. You can, and I'll read whatever you write. For the most part, I will edit some things just because I have my certain sensibilities. Not too often, but rarely. And then also you can do donations through Cashapp or Venmo, which are also in the description down below. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. I greatly appreciate you, but I gotta go. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.